Using text. All right, I'm going to type a word on the stage. And it shows in the properties window what the font is and what the size is. I'm going to change the font here to something different. And there's two ways to make sure that Flash is going to show your text. One is to embed the text, and we'll come back to that, but another would be to break it apart so that it becomes actually similar to the outlines that you'd have in Illustrator. It's no longer a font then, it's a shape. But before we do that, I want to make sure that we take a little bit of a look at the kerning, not to get too crazy, but you can see that the kerning here is really not so great. Flash is not well known for good kerning, and especially when you have problem letters like a Q. So I'm just going to fix that up a little bit, not going to spend a whole lot of time making it perfect, but if you need to kern over here at letter spacing, you can do a slider, or you can do minus and plus spaces. So I just did a -2, and that brought it in a little bit closer. Looks a little better. Okay, so breaking apart the text, when it's a word like this, I need to do Apple B, or under Modify, Break Apart. And if you notice, this is still text. I could still highlight it, change the letter, but I want it to become shapes. So in addition to breaking the word apart, I need to break it apart again. And if you can see the mattressing now inside of the shapes that I click on, you can tell that this really is broken apart. Okay, now if I want to animate, I need to convert all of these into symbols. So I'm going to F8 and name each one. For now, using graphics. And don't forget, if you're using, with an I, you need to also grab the I. And you can do that by holding down the Shift key. You can also, use the lasso or whatever else you're comfortable with doing. Almost done. F8, letter R, F8, and the K in this case is actually in 2 pieces. F8. Don't forget, if you're on a laptop like I am, you need to hold down the FN key. Alright, so now I've got several different letters. Each is a different character. And in order to animate them, I need to distribute them to layers. I'm going to go Timeline, Distribute to Layers, and I only distributed one because I only had one selected. So let's try that again. Modify, Timeline, Distribute to Layers. Get rid of my extra layers and put them in some strange order. So I'm going to reorganize them. Q-U-I-R-K. Now the reason that I did break them apart is that this font is not a typical font that would be cross-platform. Frizz Quadrata, lovely font, not likely to be available on a PC. The only fonts that are going to be available on the PC typically are going to be the Microsoft fonts, Verdana, Georgian, those sort of fonts. Okie dokes. So I'm going to highlight all of these and right click or option click or insert motion tween and give it a little more time by adding F5s to all of them. You could also stretch them, and I'm ready to go.